BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Boeing is currently working on a new version to the 787 series. This comes following an interview with the Seattle Times by that of the Boeing Commercial Airplanes CEO, Stan Deal. It was a landmark interview for the aviation industry, as it also happens to be one of the first interviews since the crisis involving the 737 MAX series took place, with a proper media representative by an executive at the aircraft manufacturer. This new version would be a high gross weight, or more commonly HGW, of the 787-10. The 787-10 currently is the most significant variant in the series that consists of three types: the smaller 787-8, the stock standard 787-9, and then finally, of course, the largest and longest 787-10. All of these variants fit into the market in different ways. However, the ultimate goal for designing a new high gross weight Boeing 787-10 is to allow the American aircraft manufacturer to better compete with the A350 series, specifically as noted in the interview, that of the A350-900. Therefore, there would be many benefits to increasing the weight. However, the aircraft manufacturer is setting its sights on that of the payload and range for the Dash 10 specifically. This is not the first time we've heard murmurs about a high gross weight version of the 787 series, with in recent years industry experts and also analysts predicting something would occur sooner rather than later, and it would be an opportunity for Boeing that they would not be able to pass up on. Leeham News reported that Boeing is also working on an HGW of the 787-9 that would make a second variant on top of the already existing Dash 9. The goal for this would be an increase on range, and this would help tackle airlines' ambitions to conduct new ultra-long-haul flights, which were making a return to the industry before the pandemic, especially with Qantas leading the way with their Perth to London. Project Sunrise, of course, is another thing, and over at Singapore Airlines, we have their Singapore to New York service, although that is with the A350 ULR. Essentially, the expansive portfolio of aircraft with the 787s that Boeing is now exploring could be very similar to that of the A321 family, with the multiple variants all specifically fitting into a section of the market. Of course, though, you could argue that there's always going to be a lot more interest for a narrow-body aircraft, as typically more airlines are looking for smaller. That, though, does not mean that having different versions of the 787 is not justified. There are many benefits to an HGW version of the 787-10, as existing customers of the Dash 10 could potentially utilize the type for replacing other aircraft within their fleet. Now, that would namely be their older 777s, like the Dash 200 variant I'm solely focusing on here. The Dash 200 variant is aging, and it's been covered here on the channel many times, with airlines either looking to retire it or replace it as soon as possible. So if Boeing was to, say, put forward the HGW 787-10, and especially to customers that may already have the 787 to some capacity, it could be a surefire way to boost sales and also commitments. Ultimately, though, the most significant prospect for Boeing with this HGW would be to better compete with Airbus and, of course, their highly successful A350, while also listening to customers' feedback and where negatives lie in the 787 over other aircraft on the market that are somewhat similar. For Boeing, though, while this is all well and good, no doubt one of their main priorities will be, of course, to resume production and deliveries for their 787 series generally. The aircraft has now been on the ground for many times over recent years, with deliveries being suspended, and last year was an incredibly bleak one for the series on a whole. They'll be looking to rectify that and working on a high gross weight version, or should I say multiple high gross weight versions, could definitely be a way to move that forward. What are your thoughts on Boeing eyeing a new 787 variant? Let me know down below in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, do be sure to drop it a subscription. Take care, and I'll see you next time.